Hey guys, so I wanted to show you my little mini haul that I got today. I was actually picking up some books from someone who was giving them to me for free, and then as I was driving home I went by this shop that we have called Artscraps, and it's like secondhand art supplies. And it's a really cool place. They have classes for kids, and you can do like birthday parties for kids there. And they just have all kinds of supplies, everything from rubber stamps to paint to beads to fabric to books to magazines, just everything you can think of and more. And so I hadn't been there in a couple of years, because of the pandemic, and so I thought, oh, I should stop in and see what kind of stuff they have. And they had these really cool, super old sheet music things that are past copyright. Like this one is 1904, and this one is 1898. And I just love the like scroll work on the front. Let's see if I can kind of zoom in there. I thought this was really cool, the design on both of them, really. So and they're Christmas anthems for church choirs. That's what all I could figure out. So I don't know, the music itself is not that exciting, but I just love the design on the front and the color of the paper. So I'm scanning these, and I think what I'll do is have like I'll have this as a digi-kit in my Etsy soon, and I'll just have the front covers and like a couple pages inside, and just try to make it all one kit. I thought that would be fun. So I got those. I think those were like $1 each. And then same with this huge thing, which I have to zoom out now to see it. It's another thing of sheet music. I don't know when it's from, but I thought it was just really fun looking. So I got that. I think that was 50 cents, probably because it's kind of ripped up on the edges. And then I got a few scrapbook papers in different green colors, because green is my favorite color. And those were like 20 cents. And some green miscellaneous notebook paper. And check this out, $5 for this whole big thing of small size eyelets, which was such a deal. I grabbed that. So that's going to be really fun to use on little dangles and charms and tiny tags. So that was probably the best thing. This was 50 cents. I just thought that would be fun to do like some slow stitching on, and maybe use on one of the journal covers that I'm working on. And then I got these for 10 cents a piece that I thought I would attach somehow to the journals. They're just little trees on pins. I don't know if you can see that. So and a bird, like a metal piece. You can probably just glue it. It's flat on the back. And a little flower punch. And I think that was $0.25. Yeah, $0.25. And I tested it, and it works. It makes little flowers. So that was really fun. That was a good little shop. So what I wanted to also show you was I kind of was doodling around when I was doing these, painting these offcuts, and I came up with this little flower pattern. There we go. That's really easy to do. So I think that's going to be like my new wallpaper design. And I'll just show you real quick how I do that. So I think I was using this one, or was it this? No, I think it was this number 5. Yeah, this fun number 5 brush. And then I was just using some red. Load up my brush here. And so yeah, you want a thin little brush. And if you can find a number 5. And then I just started from the inside. Let's see if you can see where I'm, yeah. Okay. Started from the inside and did kind of a spiral outwards, and I'm kind of dragging the brush around. Looks like I need more paint on my brush. But I'm kind of dragging it around the sides of this spiral so it's not super even and it overlaps. And then I just stop, and then I kind of make some little, what would you call those? I don't know, little petals around the circle, and maybe overlap a couple of them. Oh, that was a big one. So it kind of looks like a rose, you know? It doesn't have to look perfect. And then I just did some little green shoots off the side to look like leaves. So let me try a few more. Oh, I got lots of red on that one. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I really like how these look. I think they're just, you know, interesting enough to decorate the page. And they're fun to play with. Like I said, I was just kind of playing around. This is how I started on this page. And I didn't really like this long branch, so I just made little separate flowers. Oh, here's one of the punch flowers. That's weird. How did that come out? There must have been some wax paper in the punch. I wonder if they like sharpened it up before they sold it, because I know that's how you're supposedly can sharpen up your punches when they get dull, is use wax paper, or I think foil was another one. I've never been able to get that to work, but I don't know. Supposedly it works. So if you're in the Twin Cities, you're in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, Artscraps, that's the name of the store. It's really fun. Fun and very reasonable prices. If you're somewhere else, I don't know, You can probably find a store like that, I bet. It's funny because there was another store that I was gonna go to on the way home. It's this cute little artsy fartsy store, kind of a gifty store, and it's got a lot of stuff on consignment from independent artists around locally, and it's called I Like You. Isn't that a cute name? I Like You. So I was gonna stop there on the way home, but after I went to Artscraps, I decided that I had to behave and not go to both and be greedy. So I would just be content with going to the one store and getting some art supplies. The thing I was gonna look for at I Like You was like some pins, like enamel pins, or hair bands or hair clips. They have stuff like that that people have decorated. I think I've gotten both of those there before. That's why I was gonna look for them. I have really thick hair, and so it's hard to find hair bands or hair clips that will hold it. Like I finally had to make my own hair bands with adjustable elastic, because the only ones I could find in the stores are like not adjustable and are too tight and end up giving me a headache. So that's no good. So yeah, I had to make my own hair bands. And that's kind of one of my many unfinished projects where I do this, where I like create something and think it's brilliant, and that I then have to make 100 of them, and so I go buy a whole bunch of supplies for that one thing and then I don't end up finishing it. I would like to go back and finish those, because I had the supplies like all cut up, all different fabrics, fun kids fabric. I actually made a bunch of them at the time for kids in my son's play group. I think I brought like a bunch of fabrics and asked them all to pick, you know, which fabric they wanted, and it was really cute. They were probably like, oh my gosh, 8 or 9, you know, that age, and the boys picked fabric too, and one of them would wear his hairband like a pirate. It was really cute. It's working pretty well. And not all the flowers are the same size, and that's okay. But it's fun to do this little spiral action. So I don't know if, you know, if I did those hairbands, like if they would sell in my Etsy store. I don't know if hairbands are popular anymore. Let's see, I think I need one more here. So I'm kind of, these are more like little triangles really that I do on the outside of the spiral. That's a good way to think of them, little triangles. Triangle, 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 triangle. Now it's starting to look like a star. Yeah, these are more rounded, these triangles, on the ones I did last night. So my husband told me it's supposed to get hot, really hot again next week in the 90s, which I am not looking forward to. But I guess it'll give me more time to stay inside and craft, right? And make more flowers. I just cannot deal with the heat. It's funny because I grew up in Arizona from the time I was 10 until like 20 something. But you know what I'm gonna say? It was a dry heat. It was totally different. I hate it when it's humid. That's the heat that I just cannot take, is the humid heat. And that's what we had in Texas. I lived in Texas too for several years and did not like it. I mean, I say that, but I met some of my best and most lasting friends there, and I met my husband there. So I have to give Texas some credit. But you could not pay me enough to move back there. Not in a million years. Hated the weather. Every time you went outside, something was trying to sting you or bite you. And now the air quality has gotten really bad there. And I get updates from my friend Dennis. Hey Dennis, if you watch this video, which I kind of doubt he will, but he's not a crafter, but he is a librarian, so he is cool. I love librarians. I think that's what I would want to be, you know, if I ever went back to school or if I did school over again. I think I'd go to library school. As it is, I got a bachelor's degree in psychology after changing my major 4 times because I just loved being a student and learning everything. I started out in physics and then math and computer programming, and then briefly considered anthropology, and then stuck with psychology just to finish. I would have changed again, but at that point I just wanted to finish and get out of there. And then I got my master's in writing, and that was much more fun. I mean, it was much more focused, I should say. But I had some wonderful teachers. I went to Hamlin here in St. Paul, Minnesota. They have a really wonderful graduate writing program. And unlike a lot of places where you have to choose a particular sort of writing right from the get-go and only do that. Hamlin let you take poetry classes and fiction classes and nonfiction writing classes. And then you could choose what you wanted to do your final thesis in. And I ended up writing a young adult children's book because I love kids' books. I still read kids' books. Everything from picture books to young adult to middle school. And that's what I wrote for my thesis, was a middle school novel. And no, I haven't written any other books. I've written a lot of stuff. I have an essay published in a book. And I have a lot of zines that I've written, and those are in my Etsy shop. Used to write a lot of book reviews for different publications. So I still love writing. And I love reading, but I really just could not focus during the pandemic. I could not sit down and read for more than like 10 minutes. I just could not concentrate. Felt like I needed to do something. And that's kind of how I got into junk journaling. I already was into things like artist trading cards and altered books, but once I discovered junk journaling, that was it. I just love how it combines so many different loves of craft. Ooh, that's kind of fun. If you just do kind of a wavy edge like that instead of separate triangles, that gives you a little different look. Let me try that again. Okay. And wavy edge. It's a little trickier, but I like it. I think I like that more than the triangles. See, this is like an evolving process. I think that's enough for that page. Now I need to add the little greenies. So the green part is just like kind of a suggestion of a stem. It's not really a full stem. What green was I using? This one. Yeah. So I just kind of put a couple of these on each flower. Just to kind of add a little more color too. I don't know exactly what they are. They're sort of stems, they're sort of just little green things. But I like this size brush because it's easier to control, you know, than a lot of the cheap brushes I have. I think this is one of the better ones that I have. So tomorrow is Friday, and I'm not sure when hopefully I'll have this video up on Friday, but I am going to try to do the first in a continuing series of using up my favorite supplies. That stuff I've been hoarding because I'm not worthy to use it, which is baloney. So I'm gonna have to choose. It's gonna be hard. I think one of the things might be this German book that I bought of some of Goethe's writings. It's actually Goethe's Family Values. That's what they said anyway when I bought it. I can't verify that, but it's got that old German script, which I love. So I think that might be one of the supplies I use. I haven't decided what else. Sometimes the problem is I forget what I have because I'll put it away, you know, thinking I'm not going to use it or I can't use it, and then I forget I have it. Just got a few more here and then I think I'll sign off for the night. So I really appreciate you watching this video, everybody who's, you know, come and supported me and started watching my new channel, my brand new adventure. I very much appreciate your support, every one of you, and every time I see another person pop up that says so-and-so has subscribed to your channel, I just get all excited and bounce around in my chair, and my dog looks at me like, what the heck? So you're making me very happy. Thank you. And I think that is about enough of that. Ta-da! So go make some roses. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.